Indiana corn and soybeans are anticipated to reach record yields this year. That's according to the USDA. Now, while farmers are continuing to harvest, there are a few factors that could affect that anticipated record yield. I spoke to a Purdue Extension corn specialist and Extension soybean agronomist about a few of those challenges farmers have been presented with for this harvest season. With record-breaking yields anticipated for soybeans.
In August and in September, they're forecasting 60 bushels for the state average, which would be a record yield for us.
And record-breaking yields expected for corn.
So the September crop report, they were predicting 197 bushels per acre. That's about 8 bushels above the state record yield, which was in 2018.
Purdue Extension soybean agronomist Sean Castile and Purdue Extension corn specialist Dan Quinn both agree those levels might be a little bit hard to reach.
We're having a few issues with harvest. Just the beans don't look quite as good as you might anticipate.
Green stem syndrome is something Castile says farmers might be dealing with this harvest season.
So the main issue that comes up with this is, doing drive-by scouting to see if fields are ready. All their green will hold off, but the seeds are already dry.
Green stem syndrome is exactly what it sounds like. The stem remains green, but the beans are testing at the correct moisture. Castile says this condition makes it tough to harvest the soybeans and could lead to yield loss.
So whenever we harvest soybeans, we look for 13% moisture as kind of our target, and we lose out on yield essentially if we harvest below that. So a lot of these fields are green stemmed, but the seeds themselves are 10 or 11%.
And as for corn,
I've heard yields that are pretty high, approaching 300 bushels per acre, but yields that, aren't as high as what folks had expected. So I think it's really due to some of the variable weather conditions we've had and also some of the disease that we've had across the state.
One of those diseases Quinn is referring to is tar spot.
Whether we have a state record yield average will be, time will tell. I think it's going to be pretty variable across the state due to variable conditions, variable disease levels. Some farmers probably looking really good, but probably a lot of farmers I'm starting to hear that maybe it's not as good as what they hope.
Now, the USDA will release the October crop production report on Tuesday. That's October 12th.